Yeah. Yeah.
Good day to you. God be with you.
Can you show?
Sir.
I'd like.
All right.
Isn't that? What?
Well. Agree. God. May the Lord watch over.
Lest. We.
Come.
Try them.
God's.
Would you, sir? I want.
You can't become a monk.
Well. Let's have a word. Are we?
Yeah. My lord, I'm afraid you were right when you said these hostilities wouldn't end at Priby.
That comes as no surprise.
What has happened?
The men reported 2 more attacks today.
Ah, Henry. I'm glad you're here. It seems like we'll have another task for you. Come and join us.
My lord.
Greetings, lad.
The bandits raided a few remote hamlets, but that's the least of our worries. They also attacked Mercs, and that's a much more serious matter.
Mercs. Matthias is working there.
They attacked right after the battle in Priby. Bastards are probably trying to prove they're still strong. But there's a silver lining. Villagers held them off, and they even took 1 captive. He's wounded, but we can still interrogate him.
Your Graces, I hope I'm not intruding.
On the contrary, Master Tobias. Unlike Bernard, you are the bearer of good tidings. Or so I gather from the coin you carry. Tell me, how many groschen did we find in Priby?
My lord, I'm sorry, but my news is no better than Captain Bernard's. These coins are very good. That is to say, well-made facsimiles, as we call them.
What? I don't give a fuck what you call them. I want to know what they're fucking worth.
That's just it, sir. They're worth nothing.
Are you saying what I think you're saying, Master Tobias? This here
Is just a pile of copper.
Curva! Fuck!
Plated with silver, so it's still of some worth.
Curva! Fuck!
Is it a lot of work to make such counterfeits, Master Tobias?
I should say so, sir. Highly demanding work. Especially to make such plausible forgeries. They would need a well-hidden foundry, several craftsmen, and a source of material.
But they could just be brought in from somewhere else, could they not?
Well, they could, but then again, the silver mines are nearby, and these groschen seem freshly minted, so...
So we are facing a foe who has almost limitless sources of coin. That's all we need.
Doppelter.
Well, gentlemen, it's clear what we have to do. Interrogate that captive bandit, find out their numbers, and promptly cut off their supply of money. Otherwise, they'll soon have another encampment.
If they haven't already.
I doubt it, sir. Mercs wouldn't have been able to hold them off if they did.
Well, lad, I said we'd have work for you, but it never crossed my mind there would be this much. You've already proved your worth as an investigator, so I'm putting my faith in you again. Go to Mercs and question that captive. Find out where those brigands are hiding, how many there are, and what they're planning. And while you're at it, see if you can find some clues as to where this counterfeit coin is coming from.
Very well, sir.
Good luck. We're counting on you. All of us. Come report to me as soon as you know anything. I'll be at the lookout point near Talmberg.
Letěl hoj, sednej milej dvor, seděl na vrdelko, zaťukal na okénko.
Greetings.
Sir, can I ask you about something?
Of course, Henry.
Well, I thought since we chased the bandits out of Priby, the roads would be safer.
Ah, criticizing your liege lord, aren't...
Oh no, I don't mean anything by it.
Easy, lad. I'm only pulling your leg. You're quite right. The roads really aren't safe. My garrison is a shamble these days.
I lost most of my men in Skalitz, and what I'm left with after Pribyslavitz is hardly enough even to guard Pigstein, let alone guarding the roads and patrolling the rest of the province.
Uh-huh. I understand.
That is, I didn't have the men. As it happens, recently I asked an old acquaintance for help. So
Well, excuse me for being so bold, but there's plenty of mercenaries around.
you have a point, lad, but I'd like to tell you I talked to Kuno because, you see, Kuno owes me a favor.
So, you want me to join them?
Yes, but that's not all. I told Kuno I'd send him a guide. But really what I need is for someone to keep a close eye on him and go and report to him at his encampment. You'll ride with his band on patrols and make sure they don't get too disorderly.
All right.
Excellent. He set up camp between Ratai and Ledechko. Good luck, Henry.
I will, sir.
God be with you.
Yeah. 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 I'll be with you. I'm looking for Sakuno. Sakuno? Baron Rickvold. Isn't this his camp?
You won't get nothing out of him. You must be Radzig's man. I heard he was supposed to send someone.
Yes, Sir Radzig sent me as a guide. I'm Henry.
I'm Jakey. And this here fella, we call the Stone.
I can see why. What's up with him? Cat got his tongue?
No, more like the dog got it. The executioner's dog. When the executioner ripped it out of him. Anyway, you better come along with me. I'll introduce you to the other fellas. And the chief. These here are the Bearman brothers, Petter and Jan. They're a barrel of laughs, except when they're too drunk to string two words together. Like now. Don't get on the wrong side of them, though. When their blood is up, well, it ain't a pretty sight.
Pleased to make your acquaintance, I'm sure.
Never mind the fancy poses, Stefan. You're trying to kill the fucker, not teach him how to dance. And you, Dangler, stand your ground. Don't let him lead you round by the nose.
Sir? Well, sir, this is Henry. From Lord Kobler.
Ah, it's about time Radzig got round to this. We need someone who knows their way around these parts. Leave off with the bowing and curtsy. We don't hold with that tomfoolery here.
Jakey! Where the hell are you sneaking off to? Go to the farm and get water. The lads are thirsty.
But I went last time.
And you'll go next time, you ungrateful pup. Get your ass moving.
Snot-nosed brat. You pull them out of a pile of shit, and they thank you with back talk. Where were we? Oh yeah. We need a guide who knows these parts. So I hope I can rely on you, Herman.
It's Henry.
Right. As I said to Radzig, I don't want to carry any dead weight. We could find ourselves in some very tight situations where every sword counts.
I know how to handle a sword, all right.
I've heard a lot of fellas say that. They still ended up on the wrong end of one. We'll find out.
Stefan, take a break. Dangler, let's find out what Harold here can do.
Sure. No problem, Chief. You didn't fare badly at all, I must say. You can ride with us.
All right, good. Thanks.
Don't thank me yet. You don't know what you're letting yourself in for.
Sir Kuno,
Drop the sir.
Sir Radzig told me the Rickvold family...
There's all sorts of ways to become impossible.
Oh.
It's a long... You see, anyway.
Oh.
Sinning and confessing all... Anyway. Then, one...
Christ.
Hellish it was. My sister and I, a few weeks later, it was a great... A week later...
But surely...
Aye. You're telling me.
What about your debt to Sir Radzig?
A twist of fate, lad. In the end, the two sides negotiated a truce. I could tell at first sight he was a man after my own heart. We spent the whole night drinking together and talking. And in the morning, we set off together, with sore heads, but in good temper, since he was travelling to Colleen, same as I was. Only, on the other hand, Colleen is a...
I see.
That's right, and I'd sure...
Lucky for you.
Indeed.
I'd like to
Ask her what...
What about the
I've never ridden...
Surrey Scouts?
Not just that, nearly...
Those bear...
Indeed they are.
Jesus.
Oh, aye. They are real soldiers, as long as they don't get too drunk.
What can you tell me of
Fletching?
how did he come to join?
Well, let's just say he was in the right place at the right time.
What exactly happened?
Sorry, I'd love to tell you the whole...
Well, now you've got me curious.
Sure, why not?
What can you tell... What? I'm not sure I...
We might have done some things I ain't proud of. Except for the stone. When we were approaching Barsdorf, I ordered the men to get rid of him. Stefan tried to tell him nicely. Then the Bearman brothers tried to get him off his horse. A man who can do that is a man...
Weren't you worried about having a stranger in your band?
No, I figured if he can't talk...
What about Jake?
Jakey, that...
Like a son?
I wouldn't go that far.
Well, you're pretty hard on him, though.
The boy needs a firm hand.
True. 2 is more than enough. Sir Radzig told me the Rickvold...
Is all... Any...
Should we ride out?
Aye. We ought to set out on patrol about now. I'd like to head to the north.
North of here, Samapesh and Merhoyed are that way, and Talmberg is a bit further on.
I wouldn't mind paying a visit to those stables.
And from there?
From there, we'll follow our noses.
Sure.
What a fine day, eh, brother?
Indeed, brother.
You know what I like best about days like this, Jan?
The scent of chamomile wafting from the hillsides.
Yeah. Among other things.
Like the rounded hills, rising, purple, all soft and pink in the sunlight.
And the fertile valley below, spreading wide and inviting.
Dew.
sturdy poplar, standing tall and erect.
Aye. It reminds me of that day. That day where the two of us fucked Fletcher's ma.
Very droll. You'd make a stuffed burglar.
Your ma's a stuffed bird. I stuffed her myself.
I can't smell any chamomile.
Well, men, how are things?
May I?
Yes, Fletch?
How shall I put it? I'm a little concerned about the prospects in these partnerships.
Oh? How's that?
I've been looking around and if you'll pardon me, it seems to me that we've been stuck for a long time in the arsehole of beyond.
It's not Paris, France, I'll grant you.
What I mean to say is, I haven't got any new kit or arrows since the day Jakey joined us. It makes me uneasy, Chief.
I see. What about the rest of you?
I don't know what Fletcher's moaning about. There's plenty of booze and loose wenches nearby.
Not to mention fools in the taverns who don't know when to stop rolling those dice.
Dangler?
It's the arsehole of beyond everywhere we go. It always makes me uneasy.
Jakey?
Fletch can complain. I was supposed to get a suit of armor, and all I got was a shitty kettle hat.
Sorry, but they don't do homeworks in girl sizes.
Oh? Well, how did you get yours then?
All right, I appreciate your honesty, lads. Don't worry, there will be plunder. We're here to fight. The victor the spoils. That's how it's always been. There's no Persian silver will be and I hope you never forget the golden rule. You can joke all you want, moan all you want, but nothing will keep your skins in one piece better than trusting your leader, who you choose by your own free will. So don't ever forget that.
Amen.
Yeah. What do you think we can expect this time, fellas?
Groschen, hidden in a piss pot under the bed. A nice chunk of beef. No one there.
Yeah. On account of it'd just fall out through the holes in their belly, hey brother?
I need to touch the purse.
Once you get your hands on some loot, I'll be happy to swing you for your hard-earned grosh back at the pub.
Poor old Fletch. Never gets to see the action. Close up.
What about you, Dangler? What do you expect to find?
Utility in human suffering, like always.
Always full of good cheer, eh, Dangler? Why don't you take a leaf out of Stone's book? Shut the fuck up.
Jesus, I wish you'd all shut the fuck up.
Keep your eyes peeled, though.
Jesus Christ, what a massacre. We weren't even armed. Looks like it happened fast. We can't be all that clever, God almighty. Still smouldering. Whoever torched it can't have got very far. They turned the place over good and proper. Ah, poor wretch. Kuno will want to know about this.
I found this shield in a shed along with a letter. Seems like someone left us a message.
Show me that. I know that, Chris. It's the House of Zul. Dangerous lot, God's truth. I don't think we'll find anything else here. We'll stay here a while, just in case. And you should go and report to Radzig what happened.
What do you know about these Zuls?
A family of impoverished nobles.
I thought I could go and search for those raiders.
All right. It's always good to have an extra pair of eyes. We'll keep searching here for a while, and then head back to the camp.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
God be with you, lad.
May I be of service?
Yes, Henry. Chief Engineer Fafar has been...
The Chief Engineer?
In a manner of speaking. Master Fafar has, well...
Can they really be restored?
Everything can be rebuilt with enough will and resource. You'll get the details from Chief Engineer Fafar.
Certainly. Where do I find him?
Where? He ought to be somewhere at Perkstein, unless he's gone off to deal with some problem or other.
Well, thank you.
Good luck, Hal. Take care.
Sir, I'm afraid I have some bad news.
Christ! It seems Pribyslavitz wasn't the end of it. I know that coat of arms.
There was a letter there, too.
Show it to me. Although I think I already know what it will say.
Here you are, sir.
Unscrupulous beast. Cruelty and malevolence. I challenge you to face me in a duel, as I expected.
This Sir Hagen wants to challenge you to a...
Apparently he still hopes I will agree to this kind of outmoded solution to disputes.
But surely you can't refuse a challenge to a duel.
Henry, my boy, honor is a splendid thing, and it should be held in high regard.
Like this one?
Yes, like this one. The only reason Hagen is challenging me now is that he has a marked advantage. I've served as the royal hetman for the last 15 years and become a courtier. That's not honor, but an abuse of honor. Commonplace opportunism. I don't blame him for trying.
What happened between you and Sir Hagen?
That's a long story.
Well, if I'm to know what I'm up against, I'll need to hear at least the gist of it.
True. All right, in a nutshell. Several years ago, I had to resolve a bloody feud between the Zuls and another family. So, I hanged the head of the family. Ever since then, they've had it in for me.
But you acted in good conscience.
Yes, although in retrospect it might seem excessively harsh. And it doesn't help that the other family is related to mine.
Well, what are we going to do about this?
You and Kuno's band will just have to deal with Hagen and prevent further mayhem. The longer he's marauding around these parts, the greater the chances that I'll finally have to succumb to his conditions.
So you'd fight him, if it came to that?
Let's hope it doesn't come to that. But maybe there's something else behind this challenge. Maybe it's coin he's after. Who knows?
All right. We'll deal with him, sir.
I'm sure you will, Henry. Henry, have you questioned that prisoner in Merhoyet yet?
Not yet.
Then get on with it. What are you waiting for, boy? Good luck, then.
Yeah.
Clear off. Let me sleep.
I'd been to see Sir.
So how did he take the news?
Well, he wasn't exactly happy about it.
I can well imagine. I wouldn't want the Zulls plundering my estates either. If I had any.
He wants us to carry on patrolling the area. There's nothing else for it.
That makes sense. I don't think he'll come to us. So we'll just have to hope we run into him. I'd like to check out the big forest to the north, and then carry on via Ujits.
Sure.
Mount up then, and let's go.
Please, can we stop for a bit? My arse is aching, and I've such a thirst I could drink a moat dry.
Same here. What do you say, Chief?
Not to worry. We'll reach Ujits soon. We'll spend the night there.
I heard they've got a peculiar priest there. They say he drinks like the devil himself.
There's nothing strange about that. Every other man on the cloth is a swill pot.
Or a lecher.
Or both.
Quiet.
Listen.
For the love of God, help! Please, sir, help me.
Don't worry, lass. Nothing to fear. We're with Sir Radzig, in the manner of speaking. What's the matter?
These brigands came. The menfolk fled and left us there. They started pillaging the place, drinking whatever they could find and smashing things. I ran off, but the other girls, You've got to save them. Please, I beg you.
Easy, lass. Drinking, you say?
Aye, sir. They rolled the casks into the courtyard and started swilling like pigs from a trough.
Well, as our old cook used to say, if you want to make a proper goulash, you should soak the meat in ale for a while to soften it first.
Ah, let them get well soaked, and then go and chop them up. Good thinking, Chief.
But what about the girls? Those men, they were...
I'm sure your friends won't be getting nothing they ain't had before.
Well, unless they be nuns.
Kuno, the girl's right. If we delay, her friends will pay the price for it.
I appreciate your advice, Henry, but it's caution that'll keep you alive, not chivalrous deeds.
You promised Sir Radzig you protect his fiefdom, and that means his subjects too.
Come on, it's not like their lives are in any real danger. Hagen's men just want a bit of fun.
A bit of fun? Are you fucking serious? You know very well, Kuno, how innocent girls can end up after a bit of fun with animals like that. Well, I, for one, am not going to sit back and let it happen, even if I have to creep in there myself and try to rescue them.
Oh, all right. It's not the smartest thing to do. But let's go and tackle those fuckers if that's how you want it.
Good. Thanks.
Right. We better try and save those girls from Hagen's brutes. Let's go!
Who wants their back covered?
My right arm is stiff since last night. Cover that side for me. Someone in the wrist, Danny.
So grab some tankards, and let's get to it. We've a long way to go to finish the job.
Damn.
Let me massage my knuckles a bit with your face, eh?
How about a game? I'll lend you my dice, Carl. Hey, Henry. Fancy throwing some dice?
I promise. Or at least not much.
Henry, come here. We don't fight. Hey, Henry. Fancy throwing some dice? Out of the whole lot.
I'll give you a chance.
You want to have a scrap?
Scrap? Ash, you've nothing better to do.
All right.
You're a man after my own heart.
Well, a wager like that.
You're very sure.
I figured maybe she liked sweet bread, seeing as how she didn't eat meat. But who knows? I always liked black.
Henry, fancy throwing some dice?
Hey?
Like that time when they executed
That timber rafter who was murdering people all around there? Or maybe it was that Jew with a limp they hanged? No, the Jews in Colleen are well off. Too well off. They have no need to go around.
They left us some damn good booze here. And as my old man used to say, the fire of battle must be quenched. Of course, the only battle he was ever in was with Ma. But still, it fits. Anyway, I hope you'll drink with us.
Sure. Why look a gift horse in the mouth?
My words exactly. Me and the lads were just saying how we know nothing about you. Most of the folk around here have hardly been further than the village market. But you must have seen a thing or two.
That I have. I suppose you heard about the raising of Skalitz.
Aye, I heard. And Radzig told me you're from there.
but that's probably not the kind of story to go with wine and good cheer.
Have you heard of Sir Hans Capon?
I heard his name mentioned in Colleen, in connection with some wench, as I recall. A young dandy, eh?
Yeah, that's him. He's going to inherit Rattay once he comes of age. I run some errands for him now and again. Well, once we were at the baths together, and his lordship wanted to seduce one of the bath maids.
Naturally, that's what the baths are for, among other things.
Yeah, but with Sir Hans, nothing is ever straightforward. First, I had to play strip dice.
That's good. Did you win?
I did, but I had to strip myself anyway to get into the tub. Only no sooner had I done so than his lordship demanded wine from the castle cellars, which is a long fucking way from there.
I reckon you're a man who can't resist a challenge.
If I'd been sober. I went all the way there and back in my undergarments, and no sooner was I back than he sent me to pick flowers for the girl from the castle gardens.
It's starting to sound like a fairy tale with 3 wishes.
Well, actually, he probably did have a third wish, but he didn't get a chance to say it.
How's that?
Well, I got back only to find the girl's sweetheart, some guard called Arson Balls, well, that's what Sir Hans called him, trying to drown him in the bath.
Drown a nobleman over a wench. That's balls, all right.
Well, Sir Hans was naked and drunk, so he didn't look very noble. Anyway, I tackled this fella and saved Sir Hans from him. It could have all got out of hand, but it ended with only a few bruises. Sir Hans never got his way with the girl, though.
All that trouble for nothing. Tell us another.
Do you know Talmberg?
Oh, I do. It's that castle on the hill, not far from here.
That's right. Sir Divish is the lord there. You might have heard he was locked up in his own castle for 7 years by another lord he had some dispute with.
I remember hearing something about that. How did he get out?
His wife, Lady Stephanie, managed to get justice for him in the end, with the help of the provincial council.
Right. But I thought you were going to tell us something about yourself, Henry.
I'm getting there. It's to do with the young Lady Stephanie. She took a liking to me and asked me to help her get some things for her cousin's wedding, which I did. And she was very, very grateful.
So the lady was nice to you. That's a charming story. Not exactly bard material.
No, you don't get it, Kuno. She was very grateful.
What are you... No. Never. You and the lady of the castle?
Yeah, it was a bit of a surprise for me, too.
Are you mad? Did it cross your mind what her husband could do?
No, I suppose. But I was caught up in the moment.
Jesus, Henry. Let me give you a word of advice. We're not from here, so it doesn't matter much. But I wouldn't go telling that story around these parts.
Of course not, don't worry.
Tell us another.
Once I met a very peculiar character in Sasau. He was selling amulets, relics, and all sorts of supposedly miraculous junk.
Charlatan? You want to watch out for fellas like that.
Indeed. But this charlatan took me on as an apprentice.
The sorcerer's apprentice? You're having me on, right?
No, it wasn't like that. He just wanted me to, acquire some things for him. Nothing too difficult, so I did it.
What kind of things?
Like a tooth from St. Procopius, for instance?
What? Relics like that don't exactly grow on trees.
No, of course. So instead, we settled for a tooth from some labourer called Procopius.
So this fella was walking around with a mouthful of relics. How did it end up?
Well, in the end, the charlatan was driven out of town by an irate mob. I was lucky they didn't lynch me instead.
Nobody likes a swindler, that's for sure. A nice story, but let's just drink.
Yeah.
God be with you, lad.
Can I be of service to you, Sir Divish? I've heard talk that something is going on in Priby.
Henry, you've come at just the right moment. I sent a man to Priby, my locator, Marius.
What's a locator?
A land allocator. I charged him with checking on the condition of the settlement to see if we can start rebuilding it.
You're planning to resettle the village?
Yes.
Why Priby of all places?
Because it's been lying fallow and falling into ruin since it was sacked by Havelmetic years ago. It's about time that changed.
Well, it should be safe there now. We trounced that rabble on the battlefield.
Yes, and that's why I sent my master locator there. However, he should have been back long since.
If you've no objection, I could go and look for him.
I'd appreciate that. He probably just got delayed. But I'd be happier if you checked it out.
Good luck, then.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey! Where did you come from, and what do you want here?
So, it's all...
What is? Who are you? You've no business here.
I'm Henry, and I was expecting to find you here.
What? How could you...
So Divish's locator went missing around these parts.
Well, it seems like he's all out of luck, don't it? Divish ought to have sent someone better than you to parley.
He didn't send me to parley. He sent me to deal with it.
Deal with it? There's plenty of us, and you're on your own. So I'd think twice about how you're going to deal with that.
Let him go, right now. Or you can stay here and feed the crows, like the rabble who were here before you.
All right. No need to be hasty, eh? We'll be on our way then, quietly. That fella's in the tent over there.
Thank you.
My pleasure. Sir Divish sent me to find you. And it looks like I arrived just in time.
God's truth.
I'm Henry of Skalitz.
My name is Marius Bielek, Master Locator. Sir Divish sent me here to survey the area.
Well, the outlaws are out of the way, so we can go and report to him, right?
Not just yet. Those bastards caught me as soon as I arrived. And so far all I've seen is the inside of the tent they tied me up in. I still have a job to do. Come along with me if you like. We'll report to Sir Divish afterwards.
I'll escort you then. At least I can make sure you don't get caught again.
What? Are there more of those bandits around?
No, I just meant... Never mind. Should we get going?
This is a good spot for the rat house. Every village must have one. It'll be nice and prominent here. It's on the hillside, so the foundations will stay dry. It can have its own little square, close to the church. There's no better site here. The church is still standing. Good. Good. Whoever built it did a good job. Considering how old it is and what it's been through recently, it stood up well. It won't be an easy job to fix it, but it can be done. Timber alone won't do, though. We could fit at least one tradesman's shop here. Maybe a baker's? There's quite a lot of space here. It just needs clearing thoroughly. Then we could even fit stables here. Main approach road and the stream. This bridge needs reinforcing. It won't last long in this condition. I reckon it would make sense to build a weir over the stream down there. The water here is clean. Supply the village until we sink a well. It's a good thing we have this stream. No point in building without a water source. I can't even see past the trees and ruins whether there's room for anything there. But at least the trees are strong and healthy. All we need is a few good woodcutters, and we won't have to bring in any timber from elsewhere. Stone foundations. They'll come in handy, and we're close to the stream. Lots of space here. There's a well here already. All the better. A big space, clean water, close to the village green. A good site for an inn. That's that, then. The most essential surveying is done.
So, Master Locator, ready to start building?
There's a long way to go before that. The few ruins that are left are basically beyond repair. It's all overgrown with brush.
Oh dear.
We'll have to get it all cleared before we can start rebuilding it.
So it is possible to rebuild everything?
Yes, absolutely.
But building a whole village is no small enterprise.
We'll need timber, Lots of it. Which isn't a problem in the middle of the woods, of course. We'll have to hire wage labor to begin with. Quite a lot of men. I think we should get started without delay. There's a lot of work involved, but it'll be well worth the effort. I can just imagine it. The church will dominate the whole settlement.
Oh, that's good news. When will you inform Sir Divish?
Why wait? I'll head to Talmberg right away. But would you keep an eye on things here in the meantime? It would be rather embarrassing to run into more bandits when I return with Sir Divish.
No problem. I'll be right here.
It shouldn't take us long. My lord, welcome to Priby. That is to say, welcome back to Priby after all these years. Well, what's left of it.
Not to worry, Marius. I'm glad to be back in my old hamlet. Although, it seems to have aged about as gracefully as I have over the years.
I beg to differ, sir. It's quite dilapidated, unlike your good self, but at least it's safe now. Thanks in part to Henry here, who also saved me from a predicament that cost me valuable time. Who knows? If it hadn't been for him, we might not even be talking now.
Well, lad, in the end, you managed things in your own way, I see. Just as you said you would.
I did my best, sir. They didn't look all that tough, so I put a bit of pressure on them and they took to their heels.
You were outnumbered and you scared them off?
They were greenhorns. I think they may have been a bit intimidated by me.
Let's hope they don't try anything like that again.
I'm quite sure they won't, sir.
Let's get down to the matter in hand, shall we? What state is Priby in?
Sir, in my official capacity as locator, I am gratified to inform you that the hamlet of Priby may be renewed. And indeed it offers prospects of considerable expansion beyond its former limits.
Splendid. Finally, some good news for this province.
And badly needed, too.
So, what have you discovered so far?
We had a scout around.
We conducted a basic survey, from which we can make a preliminary outline of the parcels. I already have in my head an initial plan of what can be built where.
We should certainly have a church. I'd like to preserve the existing one.
That should present no serious obstacles. The building is in much better condition than we anticipated. But extensive reconstruction will be required.
That's to be expected.
There's a stream here, and a well, right in the middle of the village.
Yes, and there are abundant woods around. Clearing them will provide both extra land and timber supplies that we can use right away.
Right now, I believe we're standing on the village green, aren't we?
The future green, that is. The village centre will comprise at least 6 large buildings to begin with. We can't fit any more than that here, so there will be other buildings away from the square, in particular more extensive structures.
I'm glad to hear it. I never expected you'd find so much space here in the middle of the woods. The building work we're about to engage in is only the first part of my plan. Later, we'll clear more forest for agricultural land and build more farmhouses. But for now, we'll have to focus on more sensible goals.
As you wish, my lord.
Rebuilding a whole village must cost a king's ransom, though.
It's true it won't come cheap. Before the tradesmen settle here and start producing and trading, it will be necessary to invest a certain amount of capital.
A certain amount? How much exactly?
I wouldn't venture to state a precise amount at this point, but I expect it will come to some thousands, even tens of thousands of groschen.
Well, that much? I hope you're good at haggling.
We shall, of course, attempt to procure everything at the best possible price. But raising a settlement from the ashes you see around you is a costly business. Nevertheless, I can assure you, my lord, that if all goes well, the investment shall all come back to you with interest.
I hope I shall live to enjoy it, Master Marius.
A village isn't a village without villagers. You'll need new subjects. Even preparing the ground for building will need lots of labour. Where can we find so many people, sir?
You sound skeptical, lad. But it's a good question. I've already given it some thought. I've agreed with Radzik and Hanish that we shall make an announcement in Rattay to invite people to move here and help with the construction, which will bring them many benefits, but also obligations. In addition, I expect the prospects of a new home will appeal to your former Skalitz neighbors, more than a makeshift camp by the castle walls.
They'll be delighted, sir.
A splendid solution, sir. I've also been concerned about how to bring settlers here, but now it seems there will be no shortage of new inhabitants after all.
It seems things are finally looking up. We routed the bandits in battle, and Henry took care of the remnants. When can we get to work?
Right away, as far as I'm concerned. All we need is people and the necessary funds. And we'll need someone to keep order, at least in the interim.
True. I'll leave you some of my men.
If I may, I would recommend quickly appointing a bailiff to take responsibility for the renewal of the village, its coffers and its citizens.
True. First things first. Since you understand these matters best, you shall take charge of the land parceling and building works. You'll be available to the bailiff, but answerable directly to me.
I'd be honored, sir. Thank you.
And, as regards the office of bailiff, what about you, Henry?
Yes, sir?
You've proven yourself well. You've demonstrated that you're capable of solving problems, and you command the respect of your former Skalitz neighbors.
Well, I'm not so sure.
And you're also capable of maintaining law and order.
I must concur.
So, let us expedite matters. Henry, I hereby appoint you to the office of bailiff of the hamlet of Pribyslavitz, in my domain.
My lord, it's a great honor. Thank you.
You will oversee the initial renewal and administration of the village that will set the ground for further development. But don't imagine it'll be a bed of roses, lad. Being bailiff doesn't mean you can do whatever you like. If you don't treat the settlers rightly, I'll soon find out and relieve you of your office. Besides, we can't spare a single groschen from the Talmberg coffers now, with the province in chaos. So, you'll have to cover the cost for the building work from your own purse.
Me? But Marius said it would cost a fortune.
True. But from what I hear, you know how to get your hands on coin enough. So, I expect you'll manage it just fine.
I'd like to know who's been spreading such gossip.
And I am assigning you certain specific tasks. You must ensure the rebuilding of the church. That means complete reconstruction, wall paintings, and a new altar. See to it that in the future, the village will be capable of supporting a certain number of people. For that, you will need to ensure the construction of essential artisans' buildings. And ultimately, the village must produce sufficient earnings to fund further expansion.
But, sir, I've never done...
I understand your concerns, but you'll be handsomely rewarded. I shall grant you the proceeds from the whole village for the first 5 years, and you have my permission to use the surrounding woods and land as you see fit.
Well, that's, I mean... Are you sure I'm the right man for the job, sir?
As you said yourself, Henry, it's a great honor. Besides, you won't be alone in it.
Phew. All right, then.
So, we're agreed. He'll make the announcement to invite settlers, which should ensure enough people to begin work. At the same time, your official appointment as bailiff will be announced.
I don't know what to say, sir.
I'm sure you won't disappoint me, Henry. And now I must get back to my duties at Talmberg.
Certainly, sir.
Farewell, sir.
you.